Welcome to Hope Academy. My name is Mr. O, and today I'm going to be going over the ACT practice exam or online exam 3. So this is provided on the ACT website. I provided the link below. But for today, I'll be going over specifically numbers 1 through 3. So when I usually do these questions, I go over them real quick, and then I explain in depth how I was able to get to the answer. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So for number 1. Okay, so 12 to 1. 12 to 1. Okay, so 360 by 12, 30. Okay, so for number 1, my final answer is going to be B. And now I'm going to go ahead and explain to you how I was able to get to this answer. So for number 1, the important thing you need to be able to understand is that there is going to be 12 different digits on a clock. That's the assumption that you need to know, that there's going to be 12 digits on a clock, and we're looking for the angle between 12 to 1. And so based off of this means that in the total degrees that exist in a circle, the total degrees in all circles that exist will always equal to 360 degrees. And that this is going to be 1/12 or just a 1/12th part of all the possible angles that exist between each number. But since that is only 1/12th part of it, I just basically did 360 divided by 12, found out that each digit between like 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it will always be 30 degrees. And thus how I was able to get to my final answer of B. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue to number 2. So for number 2, we're select at random, divisible by both 2 and 3. Okay, so not this, not this, not this, divisible 2 and 3. No, yes. So 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so for number 2, my final answer is going to be G. And now I'm going to go ahead and explain to you how I was able to get to this answer. So for number 2, I'm going to write it a little bit bigger. And this time for this question, I might use just different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do so you can see what I'm thinking. So for number 2, the idea is as 2, 3, 7, 12, 15, 22, 72, and 108. Okay, and sorry about that little big one, but that being stated, so when I'm working with these sort of values that are provided to me, the questions ask me which of these are divisible by 2 or 3. So when they state divisible, what they're talking about is that which of these could be divided, or could I divide 2 and I could divide 3 from. So when I'm going through this, I'm looking at 2. This 2 is not divisible by both 2 and 3. It's divisible by 2, but it's not divisible by 3. Because if I do 2 divided by 3, it's not going to be a clean whole number. Thus, number 1 is not going to be the first one's not going to be an option. The next number, for 3, I could divide it by 3, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, but it's not dividable by 2, because if I do 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. It's not going to be a very clean answer, and thus the second choice is also not an option. 7 is not divisible by either 2 or 3. So 7 divided by 2 will be something like 3.5. 7 divided by 3 will not be a clean number. And another way you could check this while along the way, if you're not 100% sure, is just simply typing into your calculator. If it gives you a decimal value and doesn't give you a whole number, it is not divisible. And thus for number 7 will not work. 12 is divisible by 2 and 3, because if I do 12 divided by 2, it will be 6. 12 divided by 3 will be 4. Thus, this is one possibility. For 15, if I do 15 divided by 2, it will not be divisible. Any odd number divided by 2 will not be divisible, and thus why I know 15 will not work. 22 divided by 2 will be 11, so that's good, but 22 divided by 3 is not going to be divisible, as I'll show on the calculator. It's a decimal value, so it's not going to work. 72, when I divide it by 2, since it is an even number, will for certain be divisible by 2. 72 divided by 3, I knew right off would be divisible, but for your case, if you want to check, 72 divided by 3 will be just 24, so it will be a possibility. 108 is an even number, so it will be divisible by 2. 108 divided by 3, I could check, just in case, if I'm not sure. It will be divisible. That's why I have amongst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 choices total, 3 of them work. Thus how my final answer is going to be G for number 2. And that concludes my explanation for number 2. Now for me to continue on to number 3. So for number 3. Okay. So circumference. A circle has a circumference 2 pi r equals to 16 pi. Okay. What's the radius? So total by 2 pi equals to r. Okay. So for number 3, my final answer is going to be C. And when I was doing this type of question, the important thing that you need to know for this type of question for certain is the equation for circumference, 2 pi r. I do want to state that on the ACT exam, they do provide equations for the math portion, but my high recommendation is that you actually memorize these equations. Do not use the equation bank as much as possible unless you really need to check that you know the equation. But that being stated, the reason why is that you could save a lot of time by not flipping back and forth constantly and just being very confident about your computational skills and your equations. And so basically what I did was I just made 2 pi r equals to 16 pi. So I'm going to write on the side again, 2 pi r equals to 16 pi. Afterwards, I just divided by 2 pi on both sides, and I made r equals to, well, pi's cancel out, 16 divided by 2 is going to be 8. And thus how for number 3, I got my final answer of C, and that concludes my explanations for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, so that you could get the quick updates on what we are doing. I hope you have a wonderful day.